Hi everybody, it's me, Mike Celestino from laughingplace.com, and this week, actually on May the 4th, on Tuesday, for Star Wars Day, I received this box in the mail from Hasbro, and I have not had a moment to check it out, to open it up yet. Very excited to do that. I wanted to show you the outside of the box first. It does have the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Limited logo there on the front, and then the big Star Wars logo, of course, on the top. Not much else going on this box, but it is very nice and classy. There's the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm logo on the back there as well. We are going to open up this box and find out what's inside in this video, but first I wanted to mention that we also received this box from Hasbro, which has two action figures in it from Star Wars The Black Series, representing characters from The Bad Batch, the new Star Wars animated series on Disney+. And these characters are Hunter and Crosshair. So let's start with these. We're going to open up these guys first, and then I'll dive into that big box, and we'll find out what's in the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Star Wars box. Here we go. Okay, I've sliced open the box for Hunter here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up his package. Here's the back side, just in case you're wondering what that looks like, and it says, Hunter, the Bad Batch, technically known as Clone Force 99, is the result of Kaminoan experiments to create a specialist unit of clone commandos. Hunter, their leader, is a strong and stoic soldier with extraordinarily keen senses that give him an edge when tracking down his targets. And then you get the same paragraph in different languages. This is number 1 in the Bad Batch series because Hunter is kind of the leader of the Bad Batch. If you've seen the episodes of the Clone Wars where he first showed up, where Clone Force 99 first showed up, the Bad Batch, aka the Bad Batch, and then in the new series as well, if you've watched that on Disney+, which just started this week. So let's pop out all of his accessories here. He's got a backpack. He's got a little handgun-like blaster. He's got, looks like a vibro knife. A little machine gun looking blaster rifle, and then his helmet. Go ahead and put his helmet on here. Like I've said before, that removable helmets are pretty fun. One of my favorite action figure accessories is a removable helmet, and another one is a working holster, which I don't see a working holster for the blaster, but I do see kind of a sheath for the knife here. I'm pretty sure that goes in there like that. So that's kind of cool. The knife kind of, the vibro knife kind of slides in and out of this sheath on the side of his arm. Then we'll put his backpack on. And we'll put the blasters in his hands here. Okay, so there he is. That's Hunter from the Bad Batch, from the front and from the back. Pretty cool looking. We're going to take a closer look at everybody from both these boxes after I get them all opened up. But next, let's open up Crosshair. Here's the back side of Crosshair. It says the Bad Batch, technically known as Clone Force 99, is the result of Kaminoan experiments to create a specialist unit of clone commandos. Crosshair is the team sniper whose sharp vision gives him superior accuracy and as a result an air of superiority. And that's very true if you've seen the show. Really, to say any more about Crosshair would be to spoil some elements of the Bad Batch series. So hopefully you've watched that, but I won't say anything more about what's happening with his character or Hunter, because it is a new show that just started this week, as I said. But let's see what's going on with this action figure. Pop him out of the blister pack here. He also has a helmet, so we'll put that on. And he also has a backpack. And he's got this giant sniper rifle, which is cool. And definitely makes sense for his character. And he also has this little handheld, single-handed blaster there as well. And it looks like Crosshair does have a working holster for this second blaster, which makes sense because he needs probably two hands to operate the big sniper rifle. There we go. I think it's going to take some doing to get him posed in a way that looks right, but definitely a very cool looking figure. And then I noticed the rangefinder comes down here, like you would see on Boba Fett's helmet or other Mandalorian armor. The rangefinder slides into place, or comes down into place there. Pretty neat looking toy. Okay, so there's Hunter and Crosshair together. But next, we are going to open up this big box and see what's going on inside here. All right. 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. The company started in 1971 with the release of THX 1138, George Lucas's first movie. There's the logo again on the inside cover of the box, and then you got this nifty timeline here, which doesn't represent anything except Star Wars. So it's kind of interesting to me that they're calling this the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm collection because it's only Star Wars stuff. I would like to see other Lucasfilm properties reflected in this collection. I don't know if Hasbro has the rights to any of those. I think they've done Indiana Jones toys in the past from Kenner and Hasbro. I'm pretty sure. And then would love to see figures from Willow, maybe even some of the less celebrated ones like THX, or, you know, I mean, would they do American Graffiti action figures? I doubt that, but there's a lot of properties coming out of Lucasfilm that I think would make pretty interesting toys. And there's all sorts of information here about what's in this box. So let's take a look for ourselves. We got to read this before posting. This is just to tell you that we did indeed receive this from Hasbro, complimentary, to check out and to share with you guys. Now I'm going to go through the box and see what kind of toys are in here. So first off, in the 3 3/4 inch scale vintage collection, this is Poplu, the Ewok from Return of the Jedi. And I'm pretty sure Poplu is the Ewok that steals the speeder bike, because I have him in the larger scale, 6-inch scale Black Series, and he comes with the speeder bike from that Comic-Con exclusive Heroes of Endor set. So we'll open him up in a bit. And then we've got, let's see, also from the vintage collection, and also on Endor, it's Princess Leia in her Endor fatigues with the little helmet there, and the camouflage poncho and the little blaster. On the back here, it's Leia, Endor, Poplu, and the AT-ST driver, who is also in here. So the third figure is the AT-ST driver from Return of the Jedi, also in the vintage collection, 3 3/4 inch scale, with the removable helmet, blaster rifle. There's the back. I do like that the timeline is showcasing all the different eras of Star Wars storytelling. Doesn't include the High Republic, though. I don't know if we're ever going to get action figures in the High Republic series, but I would like to. Would really like to see a skier action figure. He's the Trandoshan Jedi in the High Republic. Moving on, I think the rest of these toys are going to be in the larger scale Black Series. 6-inch scale. This first one is Greedo, but it's Greedo as he looked in the original Kenner action figure with the incorrect coloring. As you see here, Greedo in the movie wears that orange vest. He has a different colored costume, but for whatever reason, in the original Kenner toy line, they made him have this green outfit on, and now they've kind of replicated that in the larger scale Black Series Star Wars line. Here's the back with still from the movie of Greedo confronting Han Solo in the Mos Eisley Cantina. That's fun. And then we've got 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Black Series Tusken Raider from A New Hope, with all sorts of fun accessories there. The rifle, the gaffy stick, extensions and stuff. There's the back with some art. It says, fearsome desert savages, Tusken Raiders are the foremost reason Tatooine colonists do not wander far from their isolated communities. Let's see. The Greedo one doesn't have a biography for the character, which is weird. Okay, what else? Let's skip these and we'll go to this guy. This is a Shore Trooper from Rogue One, a Star Wars story, also known as the Scarif Trooper. And he's in this 50th anniversary Lucasfilm packaging as well. I want to say this is going to be slightly different than the one that got released when Rogue One actually came out, because when they do these archive collection figures, they like to change them up a little bit, both to make them a little bit more collectible and then also to preserve the value of the original run of the figure. There's the back with the art, and it says, Specialist Stormtroopers stationed at the top secret Imperial military headquarters on Scarif. Shore troopers patrol the beaches and bunkers of the planetary facility. So you remember them from that movie. And then we've got, also from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This is the Imperial hover tank driver that you would have seen driving around on the planet Jeddah. And he's got the blaster rifle there. And this is also a re-release in the archive collection with, I think, slightly different paint job. There's the back with the artwork, and it says, Imperial combat drivers operate the Empire's arsenal of armored repulsor vehicles, relying on the thick skin of their vehicles to protect them in battle. Okay. And then one more trooper here from Rogue One as well is the Imperial Death Trooper, who were Orson Krennic's like private guard. But we've seen them pop up in other places like The Mandalorian since then. So they were still around later in the timeline. There's their weapons, and it's also in the archive collection. And this on the back with the art says, the elite soldiers of Imperial intelligence, Death Troopers, are encased in specialized Stormtrooper armor with a dark, ominous gleam. And they make those weird noises instead of talking, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, we've got two figures from The Phantom Menace, Episode 1, as part of the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm collection. And this one, well, they both have packaging that reflects what the packaging would have looked like on the original Star Wars Episode 1 action figures from Hasbro and Kenner. But this time it's in a larger scale. This is in the 6-inch scale. Those would have been in the 3 3/4-inch scale. And this is Qui-Gon Jinn, the character played by Liam Neeson in The Phantom Menace. And then he returned to voice the character later in the Clone Wars. On the back it says, in a galaxy far, far away, an evil force is gaining strength and threatens an entire civilization. Qui-Gon Jinn. A wise and powerful Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn discovers young Anakin Skywalker, proving to be a pivotal event to the entire galaxy. That's for sure. The Force is with you in Star Wars figures. So that's cool to have Qui-Gon in the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm collection. And then lastly here is Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson himself, with the nice cloth robe, purple lightsaber. Pretty nice looking figure. I don't think I have this yet. I have a Qui-Gon Jinn in that scale. I've never had the Mace Windu in the 6-inch, so that's great to get that. This says, under Mace Windu, a respected Jedi Master and a senior member of the Jedi Council, Mace Windu wields a great deal of authority throughout the Galactic Republic. Okay, that's all the figures that were in both these boxes. I've already opened the Bad Batch, but we're going to open up all the rest of these next, so here we go. Alright, here's all the packaging lined up. I did want to show you something I noticed on the Crosshair figure that I like quite a bit, is if you take his sniper rifle out of his hand, it'll actually slide into the slot in his backpack. I don't know if I'm putting this in here right. It doesn't look right to me because it sticks up so high, but I can't figure out another way to put it in there that looks right. Like, this is the only way that looks like it's slotted in there right, but then it's so it's protruding really high up from his back. If you go the other way around, it's pointing too far down, like he wouldn't be able to stand without that poking into the ground. And I don't remember in the show if they show him wearing it this way, but I don't know. That looks kind of silly to me. Am I doing that right? You guys let me know. I'll have to look up on the show to see how he holds it in his backpack, if he ever does it that way, but we'll leave it like that for now, even though that looks kind of silly. I'm still kind of bugged that Hunter doesn't have a way to put his guns, his blasters, in a holster or anything. You would think that this character would also have a way to hold the blasters. That's kind of disappointing. I thought maybe on the backpack somewhere, or the backpack would open up, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, let's dive into some of these other figures. We're going to start with the Ewok Pop Blue. Let's just tear these open. Can't be too precious about it. Alright, this is Pop Blue the Ewok. He's got a little staff, and he's got a little Ewok knife. I've been watching a lot of Ewok stuff lately because they've got the Ewok live action movies. They've got the Ewok cartoon on Disney Plus now. And you can see Pop Blue in that. Oh, it's great that the little knife goes into this sheath. Again, that's what I like to see. So it just slides in there like that. And then he can hold the little spear or staff in his hand like that. And that's Pop Blue the Ewok. Very simple, very tiny. Sometimes you feel like you're getting cheated a little bit when you pay the same price for a smaller figure. And I remember in the 90s, when they were putting out the Ewoks in the Power of the Force 2 line, they would put two in a pack together, which made sense to me, but this one is just one Ewok by itself, very tiny figure. Let's do the next one, which will be Princess Leia in the Endor fatigues. Pop that open, take her out of the bubble. Leia does have the removable helmet, Rebel soldier helmet there, and a little handheld blaster that will also go in her, either her hand or in the holster. So that's fun. And there's Leia, front and back. This character also came in that Heroes of Endor box set in the larger scale, the 6-inch scale. So cool to have her in the smaller 3 3/4 inch scale as well. And then lastly, from Return of the Jedi is the AT-ST driver. AT-ST not included. Somewhere I do have a broken AT-ST from the 90s that I bought when I was a teenager. It's in bad shape, but I thought I could use it as like a wrecked AT-ST at some point if I ever had room to set up a diorama, which I do not currently. but it's in a box somewhere. I haven't thrown it away. This guy's helmet comes off, and you can see the kind of generic Imperial soldier, or is this guy an officer? I don't know. He's an ATST driver. Let's just call him that. And he's got, you can put the helmet back on. You can put the blaster rifle in his hand. Okay, I got it. That was tough. The plastic on the blaster rifle is very soft and malleable. But I was able to get it into his hand there. He does not have a holster, but he does have this little, these little straps, I guess, that hold him into the seat of the ATST, maybe? Not sure what else that would be, what the function of that would be. But there you go, the ATST driver. You can see the little Imperial insignia there on his left shoulder. Okay, next up we're going to do this Greedo, the wrong colored Greedo. Let's pop open his blister pack here. Take him out of the bubble. Alright, Greedo does have a working holster, as I like to report. There you go, fits right in there, and he also can hold the blaster in his hand, as he famously does in the film, though he doesn't quite look like this in the movie. There we go. I did bring down my other Greedo figure from the Black Series, the one that does look like he looks in the movie. So you can see he's got a lighter tone of green on his outfit and an orange vest. It's a little dusty. But that is much more accurate to what you'll see when you watch the film. So this is one of my favorite Black Series figures. This is one of the first wave that came out when I got this, probably 7-8 years ago, maybe a little bit more, 9 years ago, I don't know. But yeah, very cool start to the Black Series line from Hasbro, and then this is the new one, intended to look like the paint job of the original Kenner release of Greedo that had the wrong colors. So kind of a throwback nostalgia thing there, but neat nevertheless. Not something that I would buy if they hadn't sent it to me, because I tend to want the figures to look as close to the characters do in the films as possible. But let's move on, and we'll go to the Tusken Raider. Let's pop him open. I've already got one of these that I bought years ago in the Black Series. So this is going to be pretty close to the same figure. There we go. Pop out all the accessories. Okay, there's the Tusken Raider, aka Sand Person. I don't know. I'm not sure what the PC term for Tusken Raider or Sand Person is. It's been argued about, but we'll call him Tusken Raider because that's what it says on the packaging. And then he's got this like long range rifle, and then we'll put his gaffy stick together. The gaffy stick has like 3 different attachments. There's one of them. There's the second one. And then I think this third one looks the most like what I'm familiar with from the original film. We'll have him hold that. Of course, we got to see the gaffy stick, or Gadarifi, as they call it in the literature. We got to see it in its proper use, or much more varied use in The Mandalorian, because we saw, not only did we see the Tusken Raiders using the gaffy stick to clean the teeth of the bantha, but we know it's also a pretty useful weapon, as Boba Fett showed when he used it against the stormtroopers in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Pretty great action scene in that series. Let's put the rifle in his other hand. I don't know. I switched the hands because this one looks like it's intended to hold the rifle, but I couldn't get it in there with the trigger, with his finger on the trigger. It just, some of these figures are very difficult to pose without really taking your time, so that's as good as I'm going to do for now. We're going to move on. Up next, we'll do the Death Trooper from Rogue One. Always nice to have more troopers. I do have a Death Trooper. I want to say I actually have 2 of them already, because you need him to flank Orson Krennic as his personal guards. But I'm not complaining that I got a 3rd, because they're pretty cool looking. And like I said, they're seen on the planet Navarro with Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian. So another excuse to have more Death Troopers. I think I heard that they used them in The Mandalorian just because they had the costumes kind of sitting around after they were in Rogue One. So they were like, why not? It'd be cool if Death Troopers showed up in this era. Because, you know, Rogue One takes place in the week before A New Hope, and then Mandalorian is like 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's like 10 years after A New Hope. But I guess there's still some folks in the Death Trooper uniforms working for the Imperial Remnant on Navarro. I did want to point out that he does have a working, not a holster so much, but a little strap. You can put one of those, that little blaster pistol in. And then next we'll do another figure from Rogue One, the Scarif Trooper, or Shore Trooper. And this one's going to be pretty straightforward. Oops. Need to get his blaster rifle out. This is pretty straightforward as well. And like I said with the Death Trooper, it's just cool to have another one of these to build out the troops a little bit. And there he is with his blaster rifle, ready for action on Scarif. Sadly, I don't think anyone on Scarif, at least at that Imperial base on Scarif, survived the Death Star attack. So this guy, in all likelihood, did not survive Rogue One. Up next is the hover tank pilot. Don't know if he survived. I guess he could have gotten off planet before the Death Star attacked that planet. That city, Jeddah City. And there you go. Another trooper. This one's the hover tank pilot. As you'll see in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. There's the back side. And we'll go to the prequels, The Phantom Menace. Now this one looks like a little bit more difficult to open because the... Oh no, not too bad. Just pop it open like that. And Master Qui-Gon, more to say have you. There he is, Liam Neeson. He's got a particular set of skills, and one of them involves using the lightsaber that he's got there. Nice green colored blade. Really nice likeness on the Liam Neeson Qui-Gon Jinn figure there. Cool one to have. Fun character. And a really nice Black Series 6-inch representation of that character. Put him there. And then lastly, we've got Mace Windu, who was kind of underused, in my opinion, in the prequel trilogy. We saw a little bit more action in Revenge of the Sith, and then a little at the end of Attack of the Clones, but, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, you got Samuel L. Jackson, you want him to be a central part of the movie, but no big deal. Still very cool. And it's weird that this one has the cloth robe. I guess the Tusken Raider also has a cloth robe, I should point out, so not completely unusual. The hood, you can put the hood up, you can put the hood down if you want. And he's got that nice purple bladed lightsaber, as Samuel L. Jackson famously requested that George Lucas give Mace Windu a purple lightsaber. He was the first one to have it. And others have had the purple saber blade since then, and you can get one, of course, at Galaxy's Edge when you build your own lightsaber, but Mace was the first. There you go. Very cool to have that character in this scale, in this amount of detail. Great likeness of Sam Jackson. And that's that. All right, and here's everything that Hasbro sent over from the Bad Batch and the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary collection. A lot of really cool stuff here. If I have any favorites, it's probably going to be, actually, I'm kind of surprised to say this myself, but probably the Bad Batch guys, because it's nice to get new characters, and I hadn't bought any of them yet, so it's cool to have Hunter and Crosshair. And here's a quick look at those Bad Batch figures with their helmets off, once again, because I know I would want to see that, so thought you guys would want to see that. Let's try and get some focus there. There we go. And then it's also cool to flesh out my Trooper collection. The only one that I probably definitely wouldn't buy myself is the Greedo. I get the idea. I like that people are into having this kind of retro looked Greedo, but I don't know. I wouldn't need to get the incorrect coloring. It doesn't quite make sense to me as a collector. And then the smaller scale guys over here, don't really buy that scale anymore, although I used to buy all the 3 3/4 inch toys from Star Wars, but not anymore. I'm more into the Black Series now, the larger 6-inch scale. But thank you to Hasbro for sending all this over, and I think you can find most, if not all, of this stuff on HasbroPulse.com. And we're always doing reviews like this of toys, and I do a whole bunch of Star Wars reviews of comic books and the Bad Batch TV series, doing recaps of every episode on laughingplace.com. And you can listen to my Star Wars podcast, Who's the Boss, there as well. This is Mike Celestino. May the Force be with you, and see you real soon. Bye!